The rat looks at his computer, decides if he should go to reserve. He decides against it. He doesn't know any of the high-tier loot spots, or have any keys. Maybe you should look up a video by Kawn. He's very educational.
С юго-востока! Замечен противник на юго-западе! Вражеская цель на западе! Противник впереди! Они пытаются обойти нас с фланга!
Перехожу на другую позицию! Противник на 1 час! Я прикончу второго! Не давайте выжившим сбежать!
What's up, my doggies? Welcome back to another Escape From Tarkov video. I'm Kawn, and I apologize. I know I look greasy right now, but I just put some treatment on my face because I've been breaking out lately. Anyways, you don't care about that. What you care about in Tarkov is money, and today I'm going to bring you guys one of my loot runs. Now, this is a really low risk loot run on reserve. I run this all the time, and I barely die. This is me personally. You might run into a PMC or two, but if you do it at nighttime, it's very rare that you'll run into a PMC. It's also really quick, so if you get in, get out, you'll get a ton of loot, you'll make a ton of money. I've got an awesome group of viewers on Twitch. I'd love to have you come and join us over there. I've got a Discord with new and veteran players who like to help each other out, and I'm also giving away a Tarky account, an Edge of Darkness Tarkov account for free to one of you guys. All the details on how to enter are down below, as well as all my links. Now that I plugged myself super hard, let's jump straight into the video. Okay, so we start off this loot run in White Night. So wherever you spawn on reserve, you want to head to the night buildings. You don't really need any keys for this, but any of the MP22 keys or any of the MP keys for the White Night building definitely help. What you want to mainly be doing is looting all of the filing cabinets that are in these buildings. So wherever you spawn, try to get to the night buildings as fast as possible. There is a chance that you could run into Gluhar. However, if you do run into Gluhar, for me personally, it's just extra loot because I can kill Gluhar fine. But if you guys are not confident running into Gluhar, you might want to avoid him or just take it slow and try to fight him. The best way, I think, to try to fight Gluhar is to mainly hold corners and nade them out so that they push you and then you kill them as they come through the door instead of trying to take them head on. If you're not confident. But basically, we're in White Night right now. We're going to head up to the 3rd floor. I'm going to hit this filing cabinet right here. This is an online raid, by the way. So this is a real raid. I'm not playing it right now. Gameplay's pre-recorded. But this is a real raid. I'm in the night building, and I'm just looting the filing cabinets. Now, the reason why you want to loot filing cabinets is because of the dynamic loot changes. There's so many different options in filing cabinets now. You find tons of Keck tapes. You find tons of blue tapes and normal duct tapes. Normal duct tapes right now, if you watch my Market Monday videos, are selling for like 17,000 rubles on the flea market for one duct tape. And it's not, there's a condensed milk, 20k right there. Normal duct tapes are not uncommon at all. They're pretty common. You find them very often, and you basically just want to loot everything. In terms of the actual loadout that I use a Bastion helmet with the slap plate on top with the GPNVGs, so the quad nods, the best night vision. That's just my personal choice. You can use any night vision that you want. You can use the PNV10Ts from Skier, which is probably the best option if you're a low level. And then in terms of armor, I just use an armored rig, and I also use a Terminator backpack because the Terminator backpack has 40 slots. It's a great backpack, and I also recommend bringing a silenced weapon. The reason is if you do end up killing any scavs or you run into any players, a silenced weapon is probably the best because you don't want to draw too much attention to yourself. You want to loot these night buildings and get the hell out. So we're going to loot the roof. Loot all the toolboxes as well. Make sure you loot all the toolboxes. Make sure you loot all the duffel bags, but you're mainly looting those filing cabinets. You will fill up, and then it's going to just become a GPNVG right there. I just found a GPNVG. Nice. You're going to fill up on that loot. The Terminator bag is really cheap. It goes for around 50k, and it's a 40 slot bag, so it's bigger than a Pilgrim. So I would recommend bringing a Pilgrim. You could even bring a couch bag if you're super confident. Check all these little spots that I'm checking. Check all the duffel bags. Now, I do this run. It takes me about 10 minutes. So this run's about 10 minutes long. I also do it when I'm just training my strength. That's why I have the shotgun shells in my bag, if you notice. So you really want to know your loot while you're doing this run, just because eventually, once you're full, you're going to want to know what's worth it and what's not worth it because you're going to be tossing stuff out. I also recommend bringing basically an empty docs case with you, or an empty SIG case, aside from the keys that you need, because you're going to be filling that up with a lot of keys you find in the filing cabinets. You want to fill it up with even just random keys. They don't have to be the greatest keys of all time, but you know, if you get a docs case filled with like 10k keys, it's not taking up any space in your backpack, and it's taking up no space, and like, you know, 10-15 keys that are all worth 10k to therapists, you know, is worth a decent amount of money, 150k on top of what you're already getting. So we're gonna head over to Black Knight now. Black Knight, I typically search these jackets. Make sure you're searching the jackets. Make sure you're checking the magazines, see what ammo they have in them, and tossing stuff out as you go. I usually organize my bag with like the better stuff that I want to keep at the bottom, and then like the other random stuff kind of at the top of the bag, and then I organize it that way. Toolbox here by the truck. Now, another thing, guys, if you guys are a little bit higher level and you have a Red Rebel, or you're willing to buy the Red Rebel from Jaeger, barter for the Red Rebel and a paracord, it does make this run a lot easier because you're already close to the cliff extract. So you can basically just run up the cliff and take the cliff descent extract and head out like that. In this run, I actually hit Hermetic Door and then go to Hermetic Door because I have my sword with me. I forgot to bring my Red Rebel. But if you have a Red Rebel, it makes this run a lot easier. It's not necessary. You can definitely just, you know, go the other way. You can take D2, you can take Hermetic. Like, it's usually pretty dead. So if you want to take Hermetic and you want to go kill some raiders, go for that as well. You can loot the marked room on your way or whatever you want. But if you want to be fast, efficient, do this at nighttime. Bring a Red Rebel, bring a paracord. In terms of my like gear, like I said, silenced gun, I bring a good helmet with my night vision, Terminator bag, and I bring a rat rig or any type of armored rig. So if you guys were low levels, I would recommend bringing like something like a Sounds PP19, a little rat rig, a Ratnik helmet, so the B47 or whatever it's called. It's like the green helmet, not the PP helmet, but the other one, the one with the rail on the front. Bring some GP or PNV 10Ts, I think they're called. They're skiers night vision. Bring those. And I would recommend bartering for the Red Rebel and using that in that run. You'll make the money back in one evening cycle of Tarkov. So if you're playing Tarkov and you start off at 10 p.m. in the game, at 10 p.m. If you keep doing this run every single time you get out, just go back into that nighttime raid, go back into that nighttime raid. By the time it hits 4 or 5 a.m. in the game, you will have made your money back for that 1,000,000 rubles that you spent on the Red Rebel. Don't buy the Red Rebel off the flea market. It's way too expensive. Barter for it from Jaeger, and the paracords are pretty cheap right now anyways. So that's the best way that I think to do it. I also think this is one of the best ways to make money. Reserve has tons and tons of loot. Tons and tons of loot. So you're basically just looting White Knight and Black Knight. You're not going very far. This triple stack of cabinets right here, these filing cabinets, I definitely loot this jacket here, but the 3 filing cabinets on the top of Black Knight, I usually shut the door so that nobody comes in while I'm looting, because you can't hear very well while you're looting. And I loot the crap out of these 3 filing cabinets. You'll find so much stuff. You want to be mainly looking for things like duct tapes, blue tapes, nails. You can even, throughout this run, you can even find all the stuff that you're gonna need for your Red Rebel. So like the Red Rebel trade is nails, tapes, and defuels, I think. So you'll find most of the tapes and the nails. You're just gonna have to find the defuels, which you probably won't find in this run, but you can buy them or whatever. That's another option for you people that need Red Rebel. Off topic, but basically the things you want to be looking for is kek tapes, any type of tape, blue tape, duct tape, kek tapes, things like diaries, flash drives. You'll find a lot of flash drives doing this run. I already have one in the docks in this video. Condensed milk, Zippos, gun attachments. If you guys haven't checked out my Market Monday videos, I do an awesome guide series where I basically show you every Monday what attachments and what items are selling well on the flea market. You can always subscribe if you want to catch that. But knowing your stuff, knowing what's worth the money is going to make you a ton of money in this run. So tapes, different attachments. You want to be checking all the magazines, making sure you have good ammo. There's a couple times where I found like Wyatt 10 round mags filled with M61. You know, that's worth 20, 30K just in ammo. You don't even need the mag. So checking these little, like on the roof here, checking the weapon crates and the weapon spawns, checking these ammos. The SMB is worth a decent amount. That's a 30 stack right there. And make sure you're full before you get out. Like I said, you don't need these keys, but this key definitely helps. And all these keys are relatively cheap. The MP22, MP44, all those keys are not really that expensive. If you look up on the wiki what keys are needed for the night buildings and you buy those, you'll definitely make your money back and you'll make a ton of money. There's intel spawns in some of these rooms, and the rooms are not that pricey. Like the actual key is not that pricey. But as you can see, I'm tossing stuff out now for things that are worth more money. Definitely want to be doing that as you're getting full. And make sure to loot those filing cabinets. I don't know the total number of the filing cabinets on this run, but there's a shit ton. Like there's so many filing cabinets, and looting all of them. You want to look out for Nixors as well, bolts, spark plugs, power banks. I grabbed the ES lamps because they trade for grenades. And just be tossing out the bad stuff. Just pick up everything at first, and then once you're full, start tossing out the stuff that isn't worth as much for the stuff that's worth more, or the stuff you need. Power banks is a big one. Those power banks, I have 2 in my bag right now, and they're worth like 35K each. So right there, you know, is almost 100K in just 2 items. But on this run, I'd say I probably net around 500 to 600K a run, and it's pretty safe. Like it's quite safe. People that run reserve at night typically go to D2, and they typically go to the Queen buildings and look for graphics cards or other high-end loot. People don't even really bother with the night buildings. You might have a couple PMCs that run through here. You can always just crouch and let them pass. They'll usually just pass. They might be checking for Gluhar. If you make a big commotion with Gluhar, then yeah, you definitely will have a chance of, you know, finding people that will run into you. But for the most part, it's pretty safe. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know in the comments below if this works for you. I'm sure it will, because it works for me very often. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to check out my giveaway down below in the description. And if you want to see more content, you know who to subscribe to. Peace, people.